Lisa Nichols. Yeah, she says you don't give from your cup, you give from your saucer. Ha! Yeah, so your cup has to fill. Then when it pours over to the saucer, you give from the saucer, never from your cup. Yeah.
Your cup needs to stay full.
Always stays full.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong.
Hi guys, welcome back. My name is Kathy.
And I'm Koi, and I am every woman.
So today, guys, we want to talk about something very important. Today we're talking about self-care.
Yeah.
What are the things you do for you to take care of yourself?
Especially if you're a single parent, if you're a career woman juggling a lot of things, if you are a wife. What are those things that you know, small little things or big things as well that you do to just take care of yourself? And taking care of yourself can be physical, spiritual, emotionally, you know, any form of self-care. Yeah.
Okay, so we prepared a little list.
Yes.
And we're going to take turns.
Yes.
And shall I start?
Start, please.
Okay, I'm going to start with possibly the one thing I find to be the most important for me. When I put my kids to sleep, I am big on routines. I like the kids to follow the routine. I mean, being an educator, that comes easily to me. When the kids go to bed, I meditate. I don't know whether to call it meditation because it's not planned. I don't chant anything. I don't follow anything. But I do sit still doing absolutely nothing except thinking for up to even 2 hours. And I find that the more, if I do it today and I do it tomorrow, I'm in a much better space during the day. If I have been so busy, I haven't done it today, tomorrow, the day after, I start feeling upset and everything seems like it's getting bigger than it should. And I get anxiety. So I have done it for a while now, and I wouldn't even say I've only done it as a single parent. I feel like I've also done it when I was married, except that for the largest part when I used to do that and sit down and the thoughts start coming to the surface, generally my spouse would also be there and we'd go through this process together. So I had less alone times, but now exit spouse and I just feel like it's my lifeline. I have to do it just so that I can be grounded.
Yeah. I think that's tied to mine as well. For me, I call it my hour. An hour a day. We have 24 hours in a day. I'm only asking for 1 out of the 24. And I do this even if I'm at home, even if I've traveled, you know, even if I'm on vacation. And I think also this stems from the fact that I'm an introvert. So even if I'm on a girl's trip, I need time. Not I want, I need it. I need time, just alone. And usually on, you know, if it's at home, I would take the time and I'm a big fan of podcasts. So I'll just wear my earphones, put on some sneakers, and walk around the estate for an hour. Just to decompress, I switch off my data, Wi-Fi, social media, and just take the time to walk around as I listen to my podcasts. Not for learning purposes. Sometimes I learn, but it's just to help me kind of focus and be in the moment so that I'm not thinking about other things. Because you might, like, especially walks, because they're relaxing, you tend to, if you're not listening to anything, you tend to be in your thoughts. So you start going back to wonder, okay, I need to do this, I needed to do this at work, I needed to do this at home, and the point of the hour is not to do that, is to not think about anything. So I feel like podcasts or music or listening to music helps me be in that moment and recharge. So I do that every hour. And if I'm in a place where I can't walk, I'll just watch something mindless. Actually, I'm not ashamed to say that I'll switch on the TV, or if I've traveled and I don't have access to TV, or I'm not near where there's TV, I can just put on YouTube or just anything on my phone and watch. And sometimes it's just stupid videos, ratchet shows, so that I don't think. switch off, like switch off and just recharge. So I call it my hour. Yeah.
That's amazing. So I think the key thing there is just recharge.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna move on to my second one.
Yeah.
It says I only keep positive people around me so I can share with them issues and they are able to help. I feel like as a single parent, I don't think this has to do with this has to do with single parenting. This has just been me.
Yeah.
Growing up. I don't keep people who drain me. I really have trouble. If I feel every time I'm with you, I'm drained, I feel guilty or there's just negative emotion.
Yeah.
I don't entertain negative emotion. So I am gonna keep my distance. So I keep people who are close to me. I know if I had a problem, a financial problem, who I would feel comfortable talking to.
Yes.
For help.
Yes.
I know if I had an emotional problem, who I'd feel comfortable talking to. So I keep people like those who I know are people who, if I tell them, they will take that problem, internalize it, and tell me a really well thought out solution. So I feel like it's a very important part of self-care. In fact, if I may just give a little example, in my first days of widowhood, I had a lady I went to school with, who I didn't even know was a widow at the time, was very instrumental. I would say 90% to my sanity at the time.
Yeah.
So I feel like keeping strategic people, your people, like your tribe, your team, around you, for me, is a big one in self-care. Yeah.
Wow, I think, yeah. And you know, people think that even just identifying those different groups of people who can help you in different aspects of your life, people take it for granted. But I see how that is self-care, because self-care is also mental.
Oh yeah.
So and just knowing that you have, if you want financial advice, you can go to this one. I think that's really
very instrumental.
All right, my next point is kind of related to the first one. Again, I think it just goes back to the fact that I'm very big on spending time with myself. And actually, I really enjoy my own company, to be very honest. So, despite the hour a day, I also take a full 24 hours in a month for myself, mostly Sundays. And honestly, on that day, my phone is off. Especially if my child, who is like my first and foremost immediate responsibility, is somewhere safe or she's with me, that day, that particular Sunday, is for me. My phones are off or on silent, and I will take that day and do what makes me happy. Now, sometimes what that means is sleep all day and order in, and I'm not embarrassed. No. So, because I know, come Monday, it's all systems go. Run. So, I feel like, yeah, your body deserves to also rest. And I'm not embarrassed to do that. Sometimes that rest looks like I want to just go window shopping. And I'll just go and do that very mindlessly. And even if someone calls and says on that particular day they want to see me, honestly, I'll just say I'm busy. A long time ago, previously, before, I took the journey to just discover who I am, I would feel guilty. Nowadays, I feel zero guilt. It's for me. And I keep reminding myself that for me to be able to serve others, I have to take, like the oxygen mask in the plane, you first before everybody else, so that you have the energy. I used to feel very guilty about it. Nowadays, I'm very particular. That one Sunday in a month is very important for me. So I take that time. And with the people in my house, specifically my daughter, she understands it. I have vocalized it to her. This day is a day for mommy. So if you need anything, please vocalize it the day before, so that I make sure that you're comfortable. It's a day that I just need my space. That doesn't mean that you can't come to me, when there's an emergency. But I would be happy if you keep yourself busy, because I just want to spend some time by myself. So yeah, just vocalizing that space.
Lisa Nichols.
Yeah.
She says you don't give from your cup, you give from your saucer.
Ha!
Yeah, so your cup has to fill. Then when it pours over to the saucer,
Oh.
you give from the saucer,
Never from your cup.
Yeah.
Your cup needs to stay full.
Always stays full.
That's
self-care
profound.
is fill your cup
Until it overflows.
Exactly.
If
And
it
then
doesn't-
you give from the saucer.
If it doesn't overflow, then
You
you're
wait
not there
until
yet.
Yeah. You're not able
Guys,
to give. It's
guys,
deep, isn't it?
that is so
Yeah.
profound.
Yeah.
Because I think by default, women are always
Giving too much.
and also expected
To give.
fast.
Yeah.
To give fast before they think of themselves. But think about it. When I first became a mom and my daughter was younger, even when I would go shopping for, let's say, clothes, I would find myself
Feeling guilty.
No, shopping. I would
Shopping for her.
Yeah, and come back with nothing
Oh,
for
yeah.
yourself. I've done that a lot of
Me
times.
Me too. I still do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are so conditioned that, you know, if you think about yourself as it's selfishness.
You must always be thinking about someone else.
Yeah.
Your children, your spouse, your parents, everybody else.
Yes.
Other than you. And every time you do it, it always comes with guilt.
Yes.
And hence the reason why we're talking about this, like it's such a big thing.
Yes.
Because it's literally like coming out of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. My third one. I am easy on myself when I drop the ball. And I praise myself when I do well. I think especially with single parenting, sometimes I feel like there is so much to do and such little time.
Yeah.
So I learned very quickly to be writing lists. Sometimes the list is in my mind. It's actually not a physical list. And then I tick off the box. I prioritize. And then I tick. And then whatever isn't done, you know what? I'm not perfect. I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I have very few moments of, oh my God, why did I do that? Like self-pity, I don't entertain pity parties. I didn't do it. That was bad. I shouldn't have done it. I feel bad. Record 5 minutes. I'm over it. I forgive myself and I move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a point there that I'm afraid I'll have to digress, but I think it's very important to pick it up. You say forgive yourself. Do you know we are not taught to forgive ourselves?
Yeah, that's true.
We are not taught to forgive ourselves. And this is a lesson that I learned actually from my mother on her deathbed. My mother, you know, passed away and she had been sick for a while. But, you know, God blessed us with some time to spend together before she passed away. And I remember one time, she was actually in hospital. And I spent the night with her in hospital. And that night, she was just, I don't know, I think she was just taking account of her life. And she was just sharing good moments that, you know, she felt like she really enjoyed in her lifetime. And one of the things she also did during this conversation is she started counting the number of times she wronged us or failed us as a mother.
Wow.
And she detailed them one by one. And she said, I did this on this, but in this particular year, you were maybe 7 years old or 8 years old. And now I think that was really wrong. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. I didn't know that. I never heard her say that.
Yes.
Wow.
She detailed. And some of them were like, at that point I realized, because I was an adult and we were speaking woman to woman now, and I realized, oh wow, that has helped me a lot as a mother, because I've allowed to also go to my child and say, you know what, I think that was wrong of me, and I seek her forgiveness. But before I am able to seek her forgiveness, I have to be at peace with it. So I have to forgive myself first before I even go and seek forgiveness from her. And that what makes for me that why that is important is so that she can also grow knowing I'm her mother, yes, but I can make mistakes. And it's
Very
more
important.
authentic for her to know and learn these mistakes firsthand, like that, at that level, so that she can grow knowing, not having to repeat those mistakes, because she has seen me being vulnerable, and so she knows better, not just from the point of mom said don't do this.
But most importantly, even when she makes mistakes,
yes,
she will know to
yes,
forgive
herself.
Exactly. The same way that you learn from your mom.
Yes.
The same way she learns from
Yes,
you.
yes. So I think that point of forgiving yourself,
That's a big one.
absolutely important.
That's a big one.
Yes.
The serenity prayer for me is a mantra. God, give me the courage to change what I can change. God, give me the grace to accept what I can't. And God, give me the wisdom to know the difference. That's a mantra I carry everywhere I go. Because everything falls either this way or this way. If I can do it, I will bust my behind. I will do it. If I can't, I can't. The end. I will pray. I will find a way to be comfortable with it or to survive it or live it. But it's not going to kill me. That's a big one.
Okay. So my third point, I think it ties with what you had said about choosing positive people around you. And for me, what I keep saying, no is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. And I think that ties to boundaries.
Yes, it does.
So I feel like most times when you say no to someone or people, they expect you to explain in detail.
Even lie.
Why?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's personal. Sometimes, I'm not saying don't always explain. Sometimes you need to explain why. But there are things, for example, if someone comes to ask you for money and they say, do you have extra money you can spare? No.
And there's no.
I don't need to tell you that I need to pay,
and
this
month was bad.
I don't have extra money. No, I don't have extra money. And the reason why I think this for me became important is at some point I realized not even just at home or in my social circles, even at work, I would overpromise. And overpromising always results in failure. And I would set up myself for failure the moment I don't draw those boundaries. So I got to a point, I would say no is a complete sentence. Period.
That's a big one.
And
boundaries. That's a big one.
That helped me really define those boundaries for me in my relationships. In my, and when I say relationships, I don't mean romantic relationships.
I know. I hear you.
Family relationships, friendships. And what happens is that when you start drawing those boundaries, the relationships that don't serve you fall off by themselves.
And the ones that are solid become even more solid.
Yes.
Because now there's respect.
Yes.
I know where you start and where you end.
Exactly.
So the ones that fall off, really, they were better off falling.
Anyway. Yes.
I hear you. That's a big one. All right, we're on number 4, I think.
Yes.
Diet and exercise.
Yeah.
Now, this is something I should do better, which I don't. Of course, I forgive myself up to a point because I am growing older and I see the medical problems that are happening with my older siblings, and I don't want that for myself. So I do know that I should exercise more than I do. I try to set realistic expectations of myself, so I don't say I must work hard every day twice. That's a lie. It won't happen. So I stick to at least 3 times a week. At least. Diet also. I don't think my relationship with food is unhealthy, but I do love my food. I really enjoy my food.
Oh, me too.
So if I allow myself to just live in the moment, no, that doesn't work well for food. I do have to be careful. So that's something I don't do. I should be doing. I do to a certain percentage. Yes, but there's always room for improvement.
But I hope you also apply forgive yourself in that aspect as well. When, for example, you're trying to work out 3 times a week and then you work out 2, you forgive yourself and say next week we'll do better.
I do, but I try not to forgive myself too many times. Do not now get spoiled and go, I'll just forgive myself. No. Because eventually it does catch up.
It does catch up. Yeah, it's true. I think that one is very important. And not just diet and exercise. As a woman, even just getting annual checkups. Like it's
Yeah.
really just important. It's easier said than done, but I think it's something that we all as women have to keep saying it, so that we have that subtle reminder to be able to know that one, we all struggle with it. We all struggle, especially after 35 and over.
30.
Your metabolism
slows
down, and
you can't eat the same way.
you can't eat fries and burgers, and you're still so you have to be very aware, and but I feel like this is something all women go through.
Need to.
So it's not
it's easier for others, and it's not as easy for others. There's some people who just find it easy to just work out. They enjoy it's part of their routine. Some of us just get a little pimple here, and you have an excuse for the day to not work out.
I know. Yeah. Okay. So my fourth one is speak up for myself. This comes from, I used to have a very bad toxic habit. That was toxic. We in this channel we say we are authentic and we call ourselves out, right? I used to have this very toxic behavior of, if I am upset with someone, I just keep quiet and not talk to them and not address the issue and assume that, we call it kufura. Kununa. And assume that the other person will figure out why I'm upset. No. Because I realize that just impacts me negatively. On the other hand, the other person, especially if they don't live with you or you don't see them often, they are going on with their lives. They don't know what the hell is going on with you. They're thinking, what's wrong with it? Anyway, I'm there just carrying this heavy load in my chest to the point it's physically feeling painful here. I figured, no, I can't live my life like this. Every day I want to wake up joyful. So what I've done is that mentally, I think it was a documentary I was watching by a certain person. I don't remember his name. Maybe I'll write his name down here when I remember. He was talking about the way men put things in a box. So I wondered, why can't I practice putting things in a mental box? Even I can do it.
Compartmentalize.
Yes. So I decided, you know what, I could be mad at Kathy because of something she did 1 hour ago, but right now is not the moment to pick it up. So I put that issue in a small box, shelve it, and mark it, give it an expiry date of I need to talk to her on this particular day. And then we move on. So when I stop being nunaing, so I move on with my life, with my, and be present where I need to be present, and then wait for the right time for me to unbox that issue. So that really helped me. I stopped walking around with anger and bitterness for people, and that made my load so much lighter. And then I also realized that it actually helped my relationships because you address those issues without being angry. You communicate and you solve. If you're not able to solve, then you decide, is it a relationship I want to keep, or do we need to shelve it again until another day, or do we need to see someone to help us work out through the issues? Whatever it is, even if it's a workmate, a boss, whatever it is, that has really helped me. So express yourself, communicate, and just being able to be in control of your emotions.
And to recognize the emotion.
Yes.
To recognize the trigger and then to deal with it.
Exactly.
I think that's emotional intelligence. It's a part of, it's a level of emotional intelligence. And I think for any marriage, especially marriage, any relationship really, but marriage, to survive, there has to be working on communication. Because the other party won't know. By you
they would know. They would know. In fact, they'll take it as an excuse now to go and do other things
away from not talking to them.
Away from you.
All right.
Okay.
Moving on to my last one.
Yes.
Oops, it disappeared there. I go out and make adult connections.
Ooh.
I know that
Yeah.
sounds interesting. It isn't.
Oh, no?
No, it isn't.
Okay.
I used to do this quite a bit, especially some time ago
Mm.
when I didn't have family around me.
Mm.
I would just go into a bar. Obviously, security issues. It has to be a certain kind, which I'm sure is secure. And I would just sit somewhere by myself. And sometimes I would sit with the bartender and just talk to the bartender. Or there was a time I lived in a smaller town, which was possibly my perfect place because we all seem to know each other somehow. So you go out by yourself and you know half of the people. So this one is coming to say you're not with them, but you're not alone. You're alone, but you're not alone. That makes sense. So you're just making connections. Someone sits and goes, by the way, I want to talk to you about something. Come, we talk about it, then they move on. Then another person, then I see another person. I'm like, please don't go before I see you.
Yeah.
Are you saying it's like one big family who don't live together? You all live in your houses, but you meet. Those to me were precious because these people don't need me. They're not my children. They're not. I'm not solving people's problems. I'm just here talking.
Yeah.
Listening to someone's stories, and those connections are great for me. I feel like they play a huge part to just balance me out. For a moment there, I don't remember my problems. I don't remember anything. In fact, I remember one time when I was at my worst, a really bad situation. I was broke. I have my children. I have a young business that's not doing well. And I had these two guy friends who it wasn't romantic with either of them. They were just guys I know from the local bar. And I cannot thank those guys enough for that dark period. Just going there and listening to their silly stories about girls they're seeing and those and trying to sort out their problems used to make me forget my problems completely. I'd pick them up tomorrow. And it's not so much. I'm a very light drinker, by the way. I drink very little alcohol, but it's just that this
human interaction.
This one, oh my God, what is that one doing? Wait, isn't that? Just that sort of thing.
Human interaction with
grown-ups where you're not needed
by the children.
There's no responsibility. That for me is a huge one for self-care.
Yeah. Wow. And I think maybe because you're an extrovert, that sounds like work.
I am extroverted.
Yeah.
I enjoy.
Yeah.
Even just meeting a stranger in a hospital, and I've met many strangers that I've really bonded with.
Yeah.
Told things I would have never told anyone.
Yeah.
And shared really personal stories.
And those are safe because
you don't know each other.
You don't know each other.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll see how that would serve like a distraction from your everyday to day, and it gives you that break.
It does.
Yeah, it gives you that break. Okay, so can I move on to my last one?
Sure.
So my last one is declutter.
Aha.
Declutter. So when I talk about declutter, I declutter like in the Western world they call it spring cleaning.
Okay. I have a feeling I'm not understanding.
Spring clean. So declutter. And when I say declutter, I start by physical declutter and then emotional declutter. So physically, if it's at the office, I'll see what do I have in the desk that I haven't used in a long time. I think that just mentally creates me. For me, I feel like I have control and I get up. It makes me feel a bit more organized and my mind clears out. So I declutter physically, even at home, and sometimes I'd even hire extra help declutter that with clothes as well. Just especially if I've not worn it for some time, that also helps, especially with the clothes, ladies, because we have this habit of hoarding clothes, saying that you lose weight. 2 years go,
guilty as charged.
2 years go by, that dress still can't fit, and you're still holding on to it. I mean, just accept who you are now. If you happen to lose weight, buy more clothes. So I do that intentionally, also as a way of making me check and acknowledge where I am in life and accepting. where I am in life.
Mm-hmm.
So I declutter the house physically.
Mm-hmm.
And as I do that, I also now sit somewhere with my thoughts
Mm-hmm.
and declutter relationships that are not serving me anymore. Is it a friend, a colleague? Of course, sometimes you can't physically take them out of your life,
Mm-hmm.
but just defining, okay, from now henceforth, my relationship with this person will be like
different.
this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm no longer gonna share 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mm-hmm.
That door is closed.
Mm-hmm.
Identify. There are some people who are there just when you need them, and sometimes it's not just even money.
Mm-hmm.
When you need them,
Mm-hmm.
when they need you emotionally,
yeah.
you're an emotional dumping ground.
Mm-hmm.
But you, when you need them, they're not there. They don't even have the bandwidth, and maybe they don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
But it weighs down on you, so you have to define that. So I declutter.
Mm-hmm.
I declutter.
That's
Friendships, physical stuff,
Mm-hmm.
friendships, and I take account and decide, okay, no, this relationship from now henceforth, this is how it's going to go. That makes me feel in control of my life.
That is interesting because I'm the extreme opposite.
Really?
I'm a hoarder
Of
everything, physical and emotional. I hoard. It's very interesting. I have so much trouble throwing anything out. So I think I'm a teacher. It's an educator.
So you recycle
Even silly things. I'm like, we might need it for some experiments,
Yeah.
So every house I live in has a store full of things
that you don't need.
Well, now I don't need now, but you don't know.
You
about
need
the future.
later.
Yeah. And if I do something now and find something from the past that works, I go, you see, that's the reason you don't throw things out. So I have a lot of junk that I just have a lot of. The only time I'm able to throw things out is when I'm moving, just because I can't physically carry everything. So I have to dump things, and I don't even dump. I call people and say, please pick what you need, and I sit there and hope they actually pick those things so that they use them. But I really have trouble decluttering. Even friends. I have a lot of friends from a long time ago. I look at my contacts sometimes and go, wow, where did this person ever go? But I won't delete and I won't. I don't know what to tell you. I'm a hoarder. I hoard. Yeah.
I don't know. What do you feel? Do you think it makes your life a bit more complicated, or you're okay?
I don't feel it makes my life more complicated. Truly, I don't.
You don't feel like you have more to do?
I don't seem to mind.
Okay.
Like I can be in the evening chatting, and I'm chatting literally with 7 people.
What?
Yeah, and I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm multitasking.
Yeah.
I'm struggling, but I'm okay struggling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm extrovert.
Maybe it's your personality, because I
Mm-hmm.
think for introverts, and I want any introvert out there to comment and say how they feel about this, because introverts, first and foremost, we don't even know how to make small talk. It is so tiring. Oh my god. It is so tiring. So when we are chatting, we don't like to just randomly connect, but when we do, it's very deep, and that's why it feels heavy. So you can't do that with 7 people at the same time.
Well, you can have deep conversations with 7 people, 8, 9, 10.
I don't think let me speak for myself. Me personally, I can't. One emotional attachment at any given time, I can't. I really can't. And I think for me, the more, even physical things, the more things I have, the more I feel that I have more things to take care and worry about. So I always feel like I need to go back to basics. And for me, I feel like life is very simple, because, for example, if God forbid you had a fire and you had just 1 minute to save a few things, you will not need most of those things. And that's where I go to back and say, really, if I've not used something in a year, do I really need it? Do I really need it? I don't. You don't need it.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I suppose people are different.
Yeah.
Some of us feel like it's in their job description to be
Juggling
juggling
many
10 things at the same time.
Yeah.
It is what it is. As long as, for me, it doesn't bring negative emotion.
Yeah.
It brings positive emotions.
Yeah.
I'm happy doing it.
Yeah.
I suppose this is just where people are different.
Yeah, people are different.
Yeah.
And so I think in that case, self-care just is making sure that you chase your peace.
And you're your best you.
And you're your best you.
Yeah.
I think that's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, we'd like to hear from you. Comment, share. Let us know your thoughts on this topic. What are the things you do to take care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually? We'd like to hear from you. And until next time, bye.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long.